You're listening to the Baumbastic podcast with Andrew Ellis on Inside Arkansas.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Baumbastic Postgame Show live from DJ's Dugout after the Razorbacks ended their season in the College World Series. They allow 3 runs in the 9th inning. They lose 6-5 to the LSU Tigers, who advanced to the College World Series finals. And as you guys know, today's Baumbastic Postseason podcast is presented by Hickey & Hole Law Partners here in Arkansas, where they handle matters such as divorce, custody, criminal, civil litigation, and more. I refuse to read that last line. Those who know, know. We're going to get into everything here on this postgame show, the disastrous 9th inning, what led to it, what this means for the program, how to process this, as we, the 3 of us, are going to try and process this ourselves. But I want to start by just saying, Razorback fans, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry that we feel this way. I'm sorry that we are in a position in life where we are attached to things that happen out on this field that make us feel certain things. And we're all in the deep end on this one, man. Like we're all in this together. And at the heart of what we do, this is what we want to do: is share these moments with you and live through it together. And that, unfortunately, tonight has to include one of the worst losses I think I've ever seen in my entire life watching sports. John Nabors, Curtis Wilkerson, I appreciate you guys for being with me. How are we feeling?
I don't feel great at all. I echo everything you said. I feel just terrible for Razorback fans. I feel terrible for the team. People are going to be looking for answers tonight. Why did this happen? Why does this continue to happen? What did we do to deserve this? And there are no real great answers. We're going to do our best to get through it. I know it's a tough one and an event session, and people are frustrated. Just know that we all feel the exact same way, and it hurts, man. There's no sugarcoating it here. So here we go.
I mean, it's tough, man. Like I was walking back here to DJ's Dugout, and I don't even think I looked up, man, because it's just incredible that this is the way it ended. You know, it wasn't as bad as the pop-up foul ball. I mean, it wasn't to that level, because that was literally the play between the difference between a championship. But it's the closest thing. You know, I thought that the losing to Texas Tech the way you did in the NCAA tournament was going to be the closest thing.
I know.
And I mean, it was almost like it's just destined. I don't know what it is about Arkansas and Omaha. I don't know what it is about getting the final outs and everything. I just don't know what it is. But this is extremely painful, and we're going to get through it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get the reactions to it. But man, I feel awful for fans. I feel awful for the players. I feel awful for everybody. I mean, there's nothing that I can say or do, or any of us can say and do, to make this feel better, but we're going to at least try to do our best to talk about it. But just absolutely brutal.
It's gut-wrenching, man. And I mean, listen, I know that there's a lot of people who, again, you guys like to look for answers. You know, you come to us, and, I'm not saying that we're the ones that provide the answers and keys to life or anything, but, I like to think that's kind of what we do, is we kind of tell you how to feel, how to react, how to process things like this. And that's really hard to do in a moment where I just have so many thoughts running through my mind. And one thing I keep coming back to is just how much I always look forward to watching this team. And I think I said yesterday on the show, like, that's what I'm going to remember this team as, is like, I just always look forward to watching them. And that was true from day one to today. I woke up today thrilled to watch this team. And I loved so much of this season. It was a special season. It was a special team. And for the ending to be this way, I don't really know how you could script a worst possible feeling for us, for you guys, the fans, but also for those players, man. Like, I'm absolutely gutted. Like, this is obviously stuff that's going to live with them forever. And listen, I understand they're the ones out there. It's their job to make plays, and it's the coach's job to get them in position to make those plays. And of course, yeah, we can be frustrated they get the job done. We are. Make no mistake about that. We are. But man, I'm not looking forward to seeing these kids who have put their, hearts and souls on the line for the Hog, man. Like, to see it in this way for them, it's absolutely gut wrenching, man. We were watching behind. I don't want to get too crazy, but like we were standing right behind Cole Gibler's family, watching that whole thing go down, man. And by the way, like, I'm sure we're not going to like single people out and do these things and talk about who's to blame and who we need to hate and all this stuff. I understand why a lot of people are going to do that, but we're going to try and like keep this the most sane we can here on this post-game show. But again, we're trying to process this whole thing, and we're going to continue to do that. But before we do that, I do want to remind you guys that we are brought to you by Macadoodles. Fine wine, beer, and spirits, a local Arkansas favorite brand that just so happens to also be in Omaha, the host city of the College World Series. This store is managed by a recent U of A alum, and the customer service is executed in exceptional style, modeling the Arkansas Macadoodles location. We will not get to be there on Friday, John, unfortunately, to enjoy their free popcorn, their free coffee, and free samples every day. They have a large selection of other beers, seltzers, liquor, and wine to make the College World Series a blast. Water, snacks, cigars, among other items, are also available. Today's show is also brought to you by Heritage Realty Group with Devin Rogers. He's proud to help folks all over the River Valley with buying and selling homes, whether it's your first place, your forever home, or anything in between. Devin brings local experience, honest advice, and a no-pressure approach that keeps you in control. If you're ready to talk real estate or the Razorbacks, give him a call or text at 479-217-2048. Go Hogs. Might need to check in on Devin, man. I'm sure he's going through it just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
But guys, of course, we're gonna get to everything. We're gonna eventually get to the game and talk through the ins and outs of how all this happened. But I think the one thing that I keep coming back to, and Curtis, we were talking on the way over here, trying to process it the best we can. We say this all the time, that you would almost rather the team just be bad. You would almost rather them just not be good enough to get in this situation. And it's we've seen it happen a lot where Razorback teams roll over and quit. Unfortunately, we've been subject to a lot of that. We've seen that with the Chad Morris teams that quit on their coach all the time. We've seen teams roll over and just not show up in the biggest moments. And we would, weirdly enough, prefer that. There were so many moments in this game where you could not question the toughness. You could not question the resilience. You could not question how bad those kids wanted it and whether or not they were good enough to go out there and get it. In fact, they did go out and get it multiple times. Arkansas scores 2 runs in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th to take a 5-3 lead over LSU. Ryder Helfer got the home run. Like, there were so many gutsy moments, gutsy ABs, big-time pitching performances, and I think it just makes it worse in the end when you see a 9th inning unravel the way it does. Arkansas, one of the best fielding teams in the country. I don't know what they ruled it as, but essentially 3 errors in the same inning, in the biggest inning of your year with a 2-run lead, a chance to put away LSU. I just don't know how you can script it worse than that. And like I said, it really makes it worse seeing how much toughness and grit that they showed leading up to that 9th inning.
I mean, I sit here yesterday and I remember saying, like, once you get to this point, you're down to the final 4 teams left, you've done all this work to get to this stage, that there's really no such thing as a choke, but there is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to rationalize it there. It wasn't, a bunch of tough breaks. It's like John said, it's the 3 hardest outs. It's just the pressure's ramped up to a different level, and the championship teams execute, and they get it done. And Arkansas did not, and it was uncharacteristic of everything we've seen from this team throughout the course of the year, but not uncharacteristic of what we've seen in these exact same situations in the past, and that makes it incredibly frustrating. It's the most difficult pill to ever have to swallow, but it's the reality of the situation here tonight. I don't know another way to explain what we just saw other than you fought, you scratched, you clawed, you got punched, you punched back, and you had yourself in position, and you let it get away from you, and it's just brutal.
I keep going back to the Arkansas-Texas Tech basketball game because that was the latest disappointment compared to this. But I remember saying and feeling afterwards that you needed so many things to go against you to happen for you to lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exactly the same way I feel right here, where you needed certain things to go exactly against you in a very specific way for you to lose. I mean, you're talking about the game of inches, which turning the double play that possibly maybe should have been turned, catching the ball. I mean, just the simple things that made the difference in this game, and all those things went against you. It's almost, and I hate to be this way, guys, I really do, but it's truly like people saying they're cursed, and I mean, how do you not feel that way? I know, I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, how do you not feel that way? I see tweets from people that are national media and all that, they're just like, geez, Arkansas, we feel like everyone feels so bad. Like I'm sitting over here just in awe of how many things had to go wrong. And you're like, why is it this way? Why does it have to be this way? And again, I'm such in a weird spot to where I feel like I'm almost in a false reality. I almost feel like I'm not even in my own body right now. I feel like I'm dreaming. Because it happened again.
Not feel real. You know what's crazy is, and we've talked about this, and this is where like this gets like dark and twisted a little bit. All three of us, I believe, have had dreams in the last few months regarding Arkansas athletics, like regarding things. And, you know, like I had a dream that they were going to choke in the regional. Like I had that, and I like remember kind of waking up and being relieved and being like, oh, thank God. Like that didn't really happen. And God, dog, man, I wish I could wake up and feel that right now. You know, I think you may have had a dream of them winning the Natty. Like whatever you had in your head of like the best and worst possible ways this is going to play out, I don't think I could have come up with that, man. And so I want to take a quick trip down memory lane before we really move on and talk big picture. And I want to hear from the chat because I know a lot of you guys, I say that not even ironically, I do want to hear from you guys because this is a family, man. We're trying to process this thing together. So we're going to get in the chat in a little bit, but I want to talk about the scoring breakdown. But before we do that, I do want to talk about a couple more of our sponsors, starting with Hickey and Whole Law. Divorce and custody cases are too important to try and face alone. Let Hickey and Whole Law provide you with persistent and diligent representation to help guide you through the entire process. They've handled thousands of family law cases and have experienced nearly every scenario that may come up. They understand that it's crucial to their clients that they keep them updated on their cases and that they provide advice and counsel throughout the process. They take the time to meet with their clients, respond to emails, and always return your calls. Hickey and Whole Law have offices across the state of Arkansas in Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Mena. You can call them today at 479-434-2414. You can check out their website, visit hickeyandwhole.com, or scan the QR code in the top right corner of your screen if you're watching on YouTube. It's Hickey and Whole Law.
Things are about to get better because they can't get any worse.
Yeah, there you say, John. Would also like to let you guys know that we're brought to you by Looper Auction and Realty. Why wait months or even years to sell your home the traditional way at Looper Auction and Realty? They offer a faster, smarter option. Sell your home at auction. No repairs, no contingencies, no drawn-out negotiations. You set the terms. Buyers compete. You walk away with a firm closing date. Whether it's your home, estate, investment property, the auction method puts you in control and gets it sold fast. Call Looper Auction and Realty today at 479-996-4848 or visit looperauction.com. Looper Auction and Realty, sold in 30, closed in 30. So the scoring starts back in, let's see what this would have been. This would have been the fourth inning. Ryder Helfrich jumps over the first pitch of the inning, a breaking ball from Zach Cowan, who, by the way, pitched really well for LSU. Both starting pitchers. I literally just now remembered in my brain that Landon Beidelshe started this game and pitched one of the best games of his career. The best outing he's had as a Razorback. Ryder Helfrich breaks the scoreless tie in the top of the fourth inning with a home run to center field. And then LSU bounces back in the bottom of the sixth inning. And this was a massive, massive moment in the game. And again, there's so many, both teams, by the way, had to make so many clutch plays. This was one of them. So Landon Beidelshe's outing, again, he goes 5 scoreless at this point, ends up giving up a double down the left field line to Ethan Fry. Stephen Milam is hit by a pitch, and that's when Arkansas turns to Gabe Gackle, which everyone was kind of wondering when that was going to happen. Some thought he might start this game. There were a bunch of different ways it could have played out. Arkansas has a 1-0 lead, runners on first and second. They go to their guy in the sixth inning, essentially, asking him to get 12 outs here. He gets a quick sack bunt, which moves the runners up to second and third, strikes out Jared Jones, who wound up being the big hitter in this game with a big home run and, drives in the game-winning run, the walk-off. Gabe Gackle strikes him out, which I believe was the 5th time in the last 2 games that he's done that. They intentionally walk Josh Pearson, and then Jake Brown comes off the bench for LSU and hits a 2-run single to left center. Honestly, there's mistakes there are a lot of mistakes that were made in this game. I didn't think this pitch from Gackle was one of them. Just a good piece of hitting, goes down and gets a breaking ball, pops it into left field, gives LSU a 2-1 lead. Felt like a really big deal there in the moment. LSU goes to Chase Shores. He looked really disgusting at first. Arkansas finally gets something going here in the 8th inning against some Justin Thomas Jr., who was unbelievable in Omaha for the College World Series. I believe he finished 8 for 14. He starts this inning off with a base hit through the left side. Charles Davalon ends up reaching on a fielder's choice, so he's running for JT at first. Vahiva Aloy gets down in the count and rips in his final at-bat as a Razorback, I guess it was. Or did he get one later? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Singles through the left side. Logan Maxwell's hit by a pitch to load the bases. And then Ryder Helfrich hits a chopper to third base. LSU goes to second for the one out. Throw back to first, gets away from the first baseman, Jared Jones. I believe it was Vahiva who comes and scores on what they ruled a throwing error by the first base, or a muffed fielding error by the first baseman. That scores 2 runs, gives Arkansas a 3-2 lead. We were going bonkers. I mean, that was a moment in time that we'll forget. It'll wash away. We'll never remember it. But that felt good, no?
It did. I mean, it felt good. I mean, there were moments in this game that it did feel good. There were moments in this game that did feel like it was all coming together for you, and that this was your time, and certain things happen. I mean, there's a lot of moments of that, but it's a tough thing to where there were positives. Like Justin Thomas, man, shout out to that guy. I mean, he was awesome.
Goodness, yeah.
He was awesome all World Series. Shout out to the pitcher. Oh, thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, buddy.
You, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. It's just the way it goes, my man. It's just the way it goes. Here's looking up your address, my man. But still, it's just like you had so many things that you set yourself up for a positive and a great moment and a great game to have, like, hey, your offense finally broke through. You had these guys finally break through. You had Idle She's like you had so many moments, but it's just unfortunate because, and I get it, like you go through it and all that, but man, it's like the final the ninth innings in Omaha have just been kooky and weird, and I'm still trying to process it. I know what we're doing, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, man, just reliving it I really wish you wouldn't have done that.
I know. Yeah, yeah, dude.
Because it reminds me of the emotional swings.
Oh my goodness.
Throughout the course of that game, there were times where we were down bad. John's rolling around on the concourse, on the concrete. He's, but like in all seriousness, it's just the tension and the stress and the anxiety, and then the moments of jubilation we felt. I gave so many high fives and chest bumps to people I've never met before.
Yeah.
In some of those moments, just and every time it happened, I was like, man, that was the one. Oh, I'm never going to forget that. Never going to forget that. And I'm not. But then we had those times where we were kicked right in the balls too, just over and over and over. I mean, it sucks that it ended the way it did, because honestly, that was one hell of a baseball game.
Unreal. I referred to it
gosh,
even
man.
before LSU's ninth inning. I referred to it as an instant classic, and I do think it is that. And there were also, again, so many moments where, like, Razorback fans were banding together. There was a go chant throughout the arena, man. It was awesome. And so Arkansas's up 3-2, going to the bottom of the eighth. And again, by this point, Gackle has settled in, worked out of some jams, really starting to throw the ball well. For anybody that was concerned about them bringing him back, he looked great. He ended up giving up a run in this one, which came via home run to Jared Jones. Made a mistake, threw a fastball over the heart of the plate. Jared Jones, a big, strong guy, able to get it out to the opposite way. They tie it at 3 in the eighth inning. At this point, I'll be honest with you, going to the ninth, I did not think Arkansas was going to win the game, but then they bounced back. Kahilaloy grounds out. Not a great day at the office for him. I'm sure a lot of people are thrilled about that. Reese Robinette pokes a single to center field. Really good piece of hitting. Brent Iredale doubles to left center field in an 0-2 count. Loved that swing, which pulled Chase Shores out of the game. Love to see that power threat from Brent Iredale. That felt good. LSU goes to the bullpen. The first pitch that Jacob Mayers throws is smoked through the left side by Justin Thomas Jr. for a 2-run single. And that is when I really, really got my hopes up. Really felt like Arkansas had kind of gotten the insurance they needed. Getting the 2 runs I thought was so massive. And then Davalon strikes out. Vahiva Aloy strikes out. Likely their final at-bats as Razorbacks. And then Arkansas goes to Cole Gibbler, which I've seen a lot of people in the chat pointing to and saying, man, how could you possibly go to Cole Gibbler? May I remind you that Cole Gibbler allowed, strikes out the first guy that he faces. They gave the guy a single, an infield single, and then it says he advanced on the throwing error. I think this is just a straight-up throwing error. I mean, that should have been out number 2 right there. He ends up walking Ethan Fry. Stephen Milam hits a ground ball to Vahiva Aloy, who goes to third base with it. And I'll be honest with you. I know everybody's been going crazy. In the moment, I remember me and you, we were kind of like, that actually might have been the right move. He's going to his right. Watching it back on replay.
He could have got it too.
He would have got it.
It was at least worth a shot.
Yeah. It was at least worth a shot. And, again, in the moment, I wasn't like super pissed about it. But looking it back on replay, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was a common theme. Credit to the guy I showed you. I don't even know who it was that tweeted that was like, in the 4th inning, he was like, Arkansas has not been able to turn the double play ball.
Something to monitor.
Something to monitor. And I was like, what does he mean something to monitor? It was something to monitor. Yeah. They did not turn a double play in the big moment. Yeah. And it wound up killing them. Luis Hernandez, what they ruled as a double. I don't know how you come away with calling that a double. I feel like that's got to be a two-base error, E7. A ball hit on a line. It was hard hit right at Charles Davalon, the Arkansas's left fielder. And everyone, any outfielder will tell you the ball hit right at you is the toughest one to read off the bat because you kind of can't tell if it's going up, down. You're kind of stopped in your tracks. He stopped in his tracks, then comes forward, falls down. Ball hits, I believe, did we determine it was off of his head? I really genuinely don't know. I mean, anything but what happened in that moment would have been okay. Like if it drops in front of you,
knock it down.
You can live to fight. Like you can figure it out. It bounces off of him, allows both runs to score, allows Hernandez to get to second base. Arkansas brings in Aiden Jimenez, and Jared Jones smokes one up the middle. They ruled this a single as well. This one I'm cool with them ruling a single, but it goes in and out of the glove of Cam Kojal. Not quite able to make the play. Again, I mean, it was hit hard, very much a single, but opportunity after opportunity for Arkansas. I don't think you could script a worst possible ninth inning. And listen, we do the thing where we're like, we find a coach to be mad at, we find a player to be mad at, and listen, you can find plenty of players to be mad at. I honestly don't think there was like a decision that was made that was wrong in this game.
Yeah, decision-wise, and you could always look back at it. You could say, should they have gotten Gackel out earlier? Should they have put the freshman in? Should they have done this? Should they have, like, hindsight is always 20/20. So it's kind of like you guys both say it all the time. Like whatever decision is made, if it doesn't go well or the guy's important, is the wrong decision, and so that's kind of what I think how everybody feels right now. And just some unfortunate. You remember that ball that was it was like spiked or whatever, and it just gets over Iredale's head. Like he kind of stops in his tracks and he's like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" And it just little stuff like that's frustrating. The ball at first base when Giller's running over there and it had to be chucked hard and that gets away from it's so crazy. I mean, this team's been so sound all year, in all those areas, and it just it got to them. Like it's just plays that you have to make, knowing whether or not you can turn that double play. It's a decision that you have to make. Catching a baseball that's hit right at you, it's hard. It's a catch you have to make. It's just it didn't happen. So here we are. I don't know what I don't know what the hell to say. Just.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to. I mean, that's the deal. Is it just like it just didn't happen?
Yeah, it didn't happen. I don't know why, but
it just didn't happen.
Just like a lot of things in this game that should have happened, just didn't happen.
And listen, like it's always one of those things, and we've said this a lot that something not happening doesn't mean it can't happen. And I really seriously do still I don't think this disqualifies Arkansas from getting back to the stage, getting back into the chance, they're going to put together a good team and all that. But for this fan base to get back on this horse and to get behind another team and to really believe again, it's going to take a lot, man. Like it took a lot with this squad, which was on paper about as good a squad as you can ask for. I mean, they had everything. You look at the record they had and just the ERA, the averages, the power they had. If this team couldn't get it done, it really, I understand how a fan looks at it as like, man, I just don't know if it's ever going to happen. And, I've been saying for, I guess, almost a decade now, like, well, they'll get there eventually. And man, it's just one of those things. What do you do? I really don't know how you process it, man. But we want to hear from you guys. And so we're going to get into the chat a little bit earlier than usual. But before we do that, want to take some time to talk to you about our boys over at Trevero. Why spend so much money renting tuxes and suits when you can own the highest quality ones at an affordable price? That's what Trevero clothing can provide for you. Whether it's weddings, formals, or black tie events, have Trevero clothing get you looking your best this summer. You can check out their entire line on Instagram or check them out at a Dillard's near you. It's Trevero clothing, where they dress the best version of you. We are also brought to you by Radiant Elements Medical Spa. There's no doubt that tough workouts deserve a tough recovery. And at Radiant Elements Medical Spa, their deep tissue sports massage and infrared sauna help you bounce back faster, hit the weights harder, and stay in the game. And for you guys that want to get something special for your lady, want to take your mind off of sports, get your lady a massage. Radiant Elements Medical Spa have all different types of services to make it the best gift ever. Check them out in the Weddington Plaza right next to the Lion's Mane, or book an appointment online with the QR code in the top right corner of your screen to get 15% off your first service. So let's check in on our loyal listeners. We're going to start with our boy, Chef Boyar Lee. We appreciate the super chat. He says, hello, darkness, my old friend. Can't convince me We aren't cursed in baseball. Listen, man, I will eventually one day be able to talk to you about that and be like, well, no, they're not cursed, and here's why. Today is not that day. I do not have that speech.
This ain't
do
the
not
time.
have that speech in me right now. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Corey Dubs, man, we appreciate you. He says, well, what's next?
Football.
Another answer I do not have for you right now. I will one day get it. But again, tonight is not that night. Next, we appreciate the Band Geeks. They say, "'Tis the life of a hog. Love them till I died." Oof. He says died like he passed away. Like it happened. I mean, hey, it may have happened tonight. And we appreciate you nonetheless. And
I think we all died a little bit inside tonight, but
definitely a part of my heart is missing this is the most pain I've ever felt in my life. I'm very confident in saying that statement. Jason Aubrey says DVH has got to go. They press too hard. It's time.
What does that have to do with DVH?
Let's relax. Like, listen, does DVH deserve to, can we have conversations and say, hey, when things like this happen, it starts at the top. Let's talk about leadership. Let's talk about all these things. Dave Van Horn does not by any means have to go. He by no means has to go. You don't fire your racehorse that got you there. You know what I mean? And he got you there, and he hasn't won the Derby, but he's still a damn good racehorse. And listen, you have to let this story play out, man. And listen, this is the worst part of the story. The chapters are getting gruesome. But the idea that the program needs a new head coach, I don't know how you can come to that conclusion. I mean, even as bad as that ninth inning was.
Do we really believe that he didn't have the guys prepared for this? Has he said anything in the lead up to this as they battled back after losing that first game with the wins that they had? Did anything you guys hear concern you about his approach and the way he was addressing the team and the way he was taking this thing game by game? And do we really think that between innings he was rallying the team and portraying weakness, or that he was tired, or that he was nervous, or that he tripped down the damn dugout stairs because he couldn't walk on his own 2 feet? No. I don't think any of those things happened.
Yeah, no. You think they didn't review with Charles Davalon, like, hey, ball's hit right at you, like, stop and maybe figure it out.
Right, do something you haven't done all year. And, I get it. I understand it's frustrating because you keep getting to that pinnacle, but you can't get all the way to the peak. And I understand completely, but I don't know what he's supposed to do, and I just don't see anything that he did wrong in terms of, because it's a mental thing.
Yeah, and 100%.
He seemed pretty locked into me.
Yeah,
and the guys did too.
I don't know how you can't really convince me that Dave, like, in something he said or did, put the team in a position to not be, to press and feel that way. And look, we've said it before. Like, all these guys have their own stories. They all have their own thoughts running through their minds, and it's brutal. And look, a lot of times, again, it's hard to say this from the guys that you're coming to answers for. Right. There's not always a thing you can point to and be like, oh, this happened because of that.
That's what's so tricky about
when it's something like this, I really don't know what to say other than this is like, someone's got the what's the voodoo doll? Is it the voodoo doll? Is there another term for like
where you get poked in it?
Yeah,
you poke the doll
what I mean? Like, it feels you. Yeah, it's like someone is just abusing our voodoo doll, man. Shout out to our guy Dre. We appreciate him. He said it's not just the loss, it's the way we lost.
Absolutely.
I mean, 100%, man. 100%.
I would have rather lost last night than go through this.
T Razorback pulls up a quote that aged horrendously. He says, Andrew, earlier today, if Arkansas loses tonight, it won't be because they choked.
Yeah, I said it yesterday. It's
man.
Missed on that one, buddy.
That's what you can never underestimate the pig when it comes to ways they can make you look stupid, ways they can make you feel stupid, and ways they can make you regret saying the dumbest stuff ever.
Yeah.
The point I was trying to make was a separate one, but man, when it plays out this way, that's just when God is pointing and laughing at you. Right. We appreciate Austin Hodge for the super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. And then T Razorback comes back and says, Aloy has to turn the double play. And I'm inclined to agree. There is something to be said about it. It was hit to his right, and you get the lead runner. I think, and Stephen Milan, by the way, was at the plate, not the slowest base runner.
Yeah. It would have been tough.
I don't know. Now he was hitting from the right side, and so maybe takes a little bit extra. Who knows? But
yes, that's extremely
I think that
loud.
had to be something that he thought. Yeah, good Lord. It had to be something like a decision he made where he's like, all right, I'm coming to my right. We're not turning two. Let me get this lead runner here, and then we'll figure it out. It just didn't work out, man. It just didn't work out. Heart Attack Razorback says, thank y'all for covering the Razorbacks like y'all do. We are all hurting, but y'all don't deserve the negativity in the chat. Thoughts on not turning the double play? And did we have a starter tomorrow? Listen.
We were talking about that, and then they put the guy in.
Yeah, I literally was like, Curtis, who the hell are they going to start? And then I was like, is it going to be Jimenez or Gibbler? They put them both in there in the ninth inning. I also, and John, you may have your own thoughts on this. I don't think Gabe Gackle had been eliminated from starting tomorrow's ball game. He threw about 52, 53 pitches. It would not have stunned me at all. Now, obviously, it would have been Johnny Holstaff, but I think that there would have been a lot of guys that would have came back and pitched.
I mean, they would have gone with Kate Anderson and Anthony Ianson, and Arkansas would have gone with the team.
Yeah,
yeah, it would have been a little bit of everybody.
I just checked the bullpen. There is an entire bullpen of guys.
Yeah. That was wild.
Shout out to Nick. He says DVH needs to retire. He can't get it done. 10 College World Series appearances, 0 championships. Both Tennessee schools did it. Both Mississippi schools did it. DVH can't. Okay. All right,
I don't know what to say to that. I feel your pain though. Like I everything you said there, I understand.
Yeah.
The way that feels and how frustrating it is, and I think he can, but he hasn't.
Yeah,
it hasn't happened. So I mean, what are you going to say?
He hasn't beaten LSU in Omaha. He's now 0-5 against LSU in Omaha, which, as a Razorback fan that grew up in Louisiana, that's about as devastating a stat as I can remember. Right. But if you watch the game, they could have beat LSU by just catching any of the balls hit at them in that ninth inning. Like,
that's how you do it.
You can say, well, they literally were not capable of making those plays. Damn sure they are. Like Chuck Davalon can catch a foul ball or a fly ball, hit right at him.
Watch it happen for 65
Reese Robinette
games.
is in there for his defense. He's a great defender at first base. He's capable of not making an error on that play. Cam Kojal, even though he's not the tallest guy in the world, he's capable of catching that ball. Speaking of Cam Kojal, did make one of the biggest plays of the game on that throw down. LSU had 1st and 3rd against Gackle with 2 outs. They send the guy and try to get the rundown going.
Yeah.
They try to score the runner from 3rd. He dives, full-on dives and tags the guy. That was a gutsy play, man. He can make that play, but then the ball hit right at him. He didn't make it, and that sucks. And look, I'm not telling you need to be happy about it, but I can't buy the narrative that Arkansas could not have won this game. Like, they were not capable of winning this game.
No, I'm with you, man, 100%. They had it right there within their grasp, and
several, you know how literally within their grasp.
You know how it works.
Hayden Ulmer says, I'm sad. I know how football will go. I'll check back in basketball for October. Listen, again, I don't have a speech for you, man. I don't have one. T Razorback says DVH not walking Jones with an open base was so bad. Listen, this isn't a horrible take. I'm assuming he's referring to the 9th inning when they had a runner on 2nd.
Yeah.
The only thing is you had just brought in a right-handed pitcher and there was a lefty on deck.
Right.
I think what you do is you can pitch around a guy. You don't have to intentionally walk a guy, but you can kind of pitch around him. It was
he's
a 2-1
prone to
count.
chasing something too, and then you got him.
100%. And he just hit the ball well today. I mean, he had a good hit. He had one of the 3 hits against Landon Beidelshees.
Yeah.
Had the opposite field home run.
Hell of a swing on.
Just
on
right
Gackle,
up the middle. I mean, it was just a beautiful swing. And like, I know that sucks, but I would have to go back and look at the pitch. I don't know how much of the plate it cost, but I can definitely get behind maybe just walking around him a little bit, and then taking your chances with the Pearson kid for sure.
Yeah.
Tercero. He says, it's a fool's errand to believe the Hogs will ever win a natty. If tonight doesn't prove it, along with 2018, nothing will. 2 easy plays, an epic choke. Listen, listen. You can buy me on the curse and no matter if they have the best team or not, they're just not going to do it. But I did not come away from tonight being like Arkansas is incapable of winning games at the high. You know what I mean? And one thing that
I understand how people could get there after watching that.
I 100%
but it's
do. But it's more like a mystical thing rather than a program capability, right? You know what I mean? And
exactly.
Listen, and the mystical thing is very real. I'm not trying to tell you it's not real.
There's bad juju.
There's 1,000% bad juju. I don't know who needs to sacrifice a lamb or what. Maybe you just need to, find your firstborn. I don't know, but someone's got to figure it out, man. Caden Jower says, I know John is fired up to start talking football. Thoughts?
I am not. That is my thought to that.
This super chat right here after Reed is a heartbreaking one because it's horrifyingly true. T Razorback, who's been crushing it here tonight, he says, LSU is our father. They are. I wish they weren't.
We said it.
There's nothing
today.
I wish more on this freaking planet than to not be the son of the LSU Tigers. But they own us. They own DVH, and they own me. They own Andrew Ellis. I am their property, and it sucks.
Do with him what you wish.
Judah Williams says, this is why Hog fans are always nervous.
I get it.
Yeah. What are you nervous about? That the worst possible thing is going to happen? Yeah,
I will never tell you not to feel that way again. I will choose not to, but I mean, 100%. I don't blame you, man. It's brutal, bro.
These are the types of losses that really hammer home that PTSD. Shout out to Fishman. He says, all the negative shit about Dave is really unfair because he ain't the one who screwed up, LOL. People are in their feels at the moment. There's a little bit of truth to this. And look, there's something to be said about, the leader of the program taking responsibility. And I have no doubt that at the press conference tonight, which we're not, not watching right now.
Can't wait to listen to that.
Yeah, can't wait. I have no doubt that he's going to probably try and take responsibility, and I'm sure he's going to be emotional, and I'm sure he's going to, not throw his kids under the bus and all that. And, I'm not saying like Dave is like completely devoid of like taking any responsibility. I just don't know if like what he's supposed to have done differently in this specific situation here.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. I feel sick for him.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I'm absolutely sick to my stomach. I can't, and I get it. Like it's the job you sign up for, the position that you're in, and dealing with these situations is part of it. But I cannot imagine, how we feel right now, how they feel right now. It's just it makes me sick to my stomach. But
yeah, absolutely. Hickory Hog, we appreciate you, man. He says, Mama said if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't super chat it. This one truly hurts. Nobody wants to say it tonight, but I still love you, Chucky D. Appreciate all the hard work, fellas. Yeah, man. I mean, Chuck Davalon, has anyone ever said a bad word about Charles Davalon on or off the field? Honestly, like has anybody at any point of all the players we've had to defend, all the players we've had to talk about, I don't think I've heard one person be like, I don't know about this Davalon kid. I feel like he's been unanimously loved, and for good reason. The dude was freaking awesome. Had an awesome year at Arkansas, put himself in a great position to get drafted pretty high and make some money this summer. We'll see how that plays out. I actually said to Curtis on the way here, I was like, I feel like Charles Davalon might have to just come back to school, man. Like I don't know what his thoughts are. I don't know what his draft status is going to look like. I don't know any of this. Obviously, I don't think a play like that is going to necessarily affect his draft status, but goodness, man, I feel for the kid. He's been fun to watch, and I wish he had caught the ball. I wish he had too. I'm sure he wishes he caught it as well. I'm sure he's way more sick about it than you guys are. So I really appreciate. I'm sure there have been some people in the chat that have been saying some stuff, but I appreciate you saying that, Hickory Hog. Seriously. Odell outside, our guy, man. Good time meeting you a couple weeks ago. He says Texas Tech. Now this, can we get that University of Almost merch now? You got at least 500 buyers in the chat right now. Yeah, this is probably true.
I saw a handful of the Arkansas almost wins.
Yeah, I did see that
today.
Yeah,
I saw several of those actually.
Steven says, first base was open. Why the F pitched Jones? Thanks for your coverage, guys. It was a fun ride. It just sucks. Well-deserved loss. Yeah, and I mean, we touched on that. I mean, you could definitely make a case for, at the very least, like seriously being cautious and pitching around him. And I'm sure that's one that we will think about for a while. Mitchell S. I need news of unrest in the Middle East to make this loss feel better. Okay.
Turn on Fox News or something,
you can find that, man.
Yeah.
It sucks that now we're going to have to like get back to the real world and like think about crap like that.
I don't want to do that.
Kip C says, I will ride or die with DVH. People dragging Dave's name or the players can kick rocks. That title will come. Like Coach Gal, burn the tape. Well, yeah, you got to burn that tape, and I don't know how you avoid that one. I mean, that one's gonna pop up and circulate a good bit.
I mean, I just hate that there's going to be a compilation of this stuff now.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's just the game we play, man.
Yeah.
Ozarkian says, 2018 missed pop-up, 2025 missed double play. Honestly, the missed double play is like, I don't even know if it's in the top 5 craziest plays in the game.
You found it. You fielded the ground ball. You got the lead runner.
I mean,
probably
he probably
could have and should have tried to turn 2 there, but
100%. I don't even know if it's in the top 3 of worst plays in that inning. I think the ball to left field's worse. I think the ball that Reese Robinette threw away was worse, and the one that Cam Coach was not worse. Although I don't know, and now it wasn't made on that play. I think it might actually be worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that the missed double play is going to be the one we remember. I think the one where they hit it to the left fielder, and if he catches it, the game's over.
Right.
That was probably the one that you need to do. Josh Carter says DVH equals poor man's Mike Martin. I'm not responding to that one. Miss Woo Piggy, a.k.a. Dan's Van, says, any person who is here to kick us while we are down can go kick rocks. She's talking to a lot of you guys. T Razorback, he says, Coyle should have pitched tonight. He had earned that. Parker Coyle can tell that story. Only Parker Coyle knows. I don't think it was a coincidence that Parker Coyle did not get up in the bullpen or go down there during yesterday's game or today.
Things happen for a reason.
I was going to say, and it's not because they think he sucks. I think there was probably a reason for that, though. Micah F says, they let the moment eat them up. This is true. I mean, that's that is what happened here. I mean, like that's like, we can talk about, who should have laid down a bunt, who should have shortened up, who should have pitched, who should have did what. The moment was very big. That crowd, by the way, 25,700 something, I think it was 25,740 fans in the building. I mean, it was a crazy atmosphere. Both fan bases showed up, showed the hell out. Man, we had so much fun calling the Hogs. And I think the pressure of it definitely got to them. I mean, there's no other way around it. I don't know how else you can look at it any other way.
Yeah. LSU, go Hogs, go.
Oh,
like that
man,
back and
dude.
forth down the stretch of that game was
Yeah.
I mean, I still get, like the hair on the back of my neck stands up just that stupid Tiger again.
I know.
Gosh, rip my head off.
Dude, there were times where there was like a lump in my throat, almost crying happy tears.
I know.
I almost cried happy tears after the Justin Thomas base hit. Like, there were just so many awesome moments, and it's just like, sports really are the best thing in the world, but good Lord, they are the worst thing in the world at the same time, man. They really are. Dre, he says, we are meant to suffer. At least we don't have to suffer alone. This is true. And I mean, like, seriously, like, the whole time we were walking over here, Curtis was like consoling me, being like, hey, well, I got you, man. I got your back, man. Like, we're going to make it
We'll get through this, buddy.
I wasn't ever like, going to be like, hey, we just can't do a post-game show. But there was definitely some concern about whether or not I was in the right mental and emotional state to talk about this loss for a while. And I don't know if I'll ever be in that right mental and emotional state, but we do appreciate being here for, guys like you, Dre, and just for everybody, man. And, getting in this foxhole together, even when the foxhole results in us dying. Appreciate you, Nick. He says it is hard. It is not hard to be humble. It is simply hard to be an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. They should change up the lyrics of the song, is what he's saying. Oh, Lord, it is not that hard to be humble because I am a Razorbacks fan.
But, Lord, it is hard to be hopeful.
Yeah, at least we get to watch the replay over here on ESPN.
Great.
God, man. Cade says, I understand not criticizing the kids, but they're paid to play. You're paid to make those plays in the ninth.
I mean, it's 1,000% criticize the plays that weren't made.
Yeah,
don't make it personal. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like,
absolutely, those plays should have been
not
made.
breaking any news here. Yeah. Reese Robinette, don't throw the ball away. Charles Devlin, catch the ball. Yeah, no doubt about that. Although I will say they are not directly paid to make those plays. Like that is not in their description. You know what I mean? It's not like a job description type thing. I get your point. And like, again, like you said, it's like, we're not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, those plays, just happened,
Yeah.
Like, just is what it is. But, yeah, we don't need to, but again, it's not like we're breaking, like, it's not effective to add to it and be like, you know what, I really think Charles Davlon probably should have caught that ball. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really understand what that helps. Oppenheimer, interesting chat name. Heart goes out to you guys. You guys made me nervous every time LSU played the Hogs. Best of luck on future endeavors, an LSU fan. Well, we appreciate that, man. And look, there's bad apples. There's good apples in every fan base. And oh man, they just showed the double play ball.
Oppenheimer's a good.
I want to watch this right now. They probably, it would have been bang bang.
He probably beats that. I don't know, dude. I think he beats it out, but you have to try. It's close enough. You
have to try. But again, Arkansas had been not turning those double plays a lot, man. Good Lord, it's killing me watching this, dude.
Baseball.
This is killing me watching this. Holy cow. Seriously, Oppenheimer, we appreciate you. And listen, there were a lot of LSU fans, so it looked like they hit him on the shoulder.
Yeah. Poor Dave. Good God, man.
Oh my God, dude. This is effed up. Like this, I'm sorry, we're reacting to the screen that is playing this. This is horrible. But Oppenheimer, we really do appreciate that. How close was he
catching?
Yeah.
Oh.
JT, we appreciate it. He says they had a bad ninth inning yesterday. They folded under pressure as a collective. Is this a cultural thing? Worst loss in Razorback sports history. I will say this, like, and we've said this a few times, that like a lot of these issues are not. By the way, Kozel should not have caught that. That was gonna be a crazy play. I'm watching the replay a little bit now. Man, there's Vahiva crying his eyes out. Charles Davlon, just all over. I mean, motions all over the place, man.
There's Pops.
Goodness gracious. But JT asked if it's a cultural thing. It is definitely not an Arkansas-specific concept, players getting tight in big moments. Like, that is not a, unique issue to the Razorbacks. Does it happen a lot to Arkansas in a lot of big moments across a lot of sports? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that is, I would say, players getting nervous in big moments under bright lights is definitely not a unique issue to the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess my return question would be, what is it that people who ask this question see in LSU or whoever culturally ingrained that's not at Arkansas that makes them capable. You know what I mean? Like I can't chalk it up to that. It's I don't know.
And,
I mean,
look,
maybe they need to get like some kind of spiritual coach to
perhaps, man, do a rain dance or
like
something.
mentally locked in, or get your chi or your meditation or something. I don't know. I don't know what you chalk it up to.
Well, and that's what. So I thought about that a lot during the game because obviously there was a stretch where it looked like Arkansas was going to win, looked like LSU was going to win. I mean, hell, it was 1-0. We thought for a while. I think John even tweeted out, he's like, "I'm here. I'm ready. If we win 1-0, cool."
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I thought about would we look at LSU and be like, "Wow, their bats just choked, man. Like they just didn't do it." But you can't really say that, and it's the margin for error is this close, and that is a horrifying reminder of it, man. Jeez. Josh Parker says, "Thank you, boys, for doing this after such a traumatic experience." John, would you classify this as a traumatic experience?
The definition of a traumatic experience for me.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm numb to the pain.
I looked over at John a few times. John, you went like 6 innings without speaking. You were like so locked in and like.
I quickly realized that where he was at, and I was like, I'm not gonna mess with him. I'm not gonna say anything to him.
Yeah, it was almost like John was like throwing a no hitter. Like you couldn't
seriously.
Couldn't touch him or
Don't
anything
poke
like
the
that.
bear.
Yeah.
I was in my own little world over there, man.
Well, we're happy to be in this world with you, and unfortunately, this world just sucks.
It does.
Anthony Lee says, pouring one out for the couch coaches. I like that. I like that a lot. We appreciate the super chat, man.
I'm going to use couch coaches. I like that.
Westside Jacoby says, so much happened afterwards that I just remembered Reese fielding a ball that Cam had easily.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm glad you said this.
So glad
I'm glad he said that because it kind of slipped my mind in the moment. Reese made the it wasn't a like completely offline throw, but it was a tough one where Gibbler wasn't going over there. He took his time getting over there, so you can actually toss a little bit of blame to Cole Gibbler there. But I think as a first baseman, and it's always tough, a ball that's hit to your right as a first baseman, there's not much ground you should really be going over there. Sometimes if you can easily get to it and you can get back to the bag in time, sure. Mm-hmm. But this was one where you're going to have to make a throw. I think Cam Kojal was probably going to be able to make that play. It wasn't hit super hard. I think if Reese goes back to the bag, there's a good chance that Kojal gets it, tosses, easy work. Thanks for pointing that out, Westside Jacoby.
No, for sure.
Kingsley says, the worst takes, the most chicken littling, internal trolling. I get grieving the L, but 80% of this chat is effing embarrassing. Love y'all, though. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I really haven't read much of it. Like, it's been so, like, and I'm not even saying that like because I'm like, avoid. It's just like, there's been so much. It's been pretty overwhelming.
I mean, I'm not. A lot of people are doing like DVH has got to go. He's got to retire and everything like that. But it's a lot of it is, we choked again. Why does this always happen to us? We're cursed or whatever. And yeah, I mean, we can call it chicken littling, but like I respectfully, like I don't know. Should people just not say anything? You know what I mean? Like I just don't know what else you say.
And I mean, like, look,
it's brutal, man. It's brutal.
You can't sometimes there's a line like you can't just be like, oh well, I was mad, so I flipped the car and I set my wife's house on fire or whatever. Right. Like there's a line, but it's like people are heartbroken, man. Like this is a horrifying moment in our lives. Like it really is. And I'm saying that with a smile, but like it's serious. Like this is devastating stuff, and I don't know how to process it myself, and so I imagine there's a lot of people who are really struggling to process it, and so I feel for those people, and like we're here for you, but and like of course, like we said, there's a line. You can't just say anything you want.
Make it personal, yeah,
100%. Craig, I keep thinking about Charles Davalon crying, just showing that on screen. I mean, because God dang, dude, like I don't know how as a human being you can look at that and like feel the need to come out here and say crazy stuff about players, man. Like, that sucks, man.
It also hits different. Just given the experiences we've had the last few days here, but even today, for the most part, I feel like we were kind of in the Razorback parents section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just so many family members and everything like that, and just how engaged they were, and just living and dying on every single pitch, and just it goes beyond even just the guys out there on the field who are like, oh, it's your job or whatever. But so many people are just, they love on them, and they're so heavily invested in those guys. And even when it sucks and you didn't do something you should have done, and it's just, you wonder why it always happens to you, and just the way it impacts them. And I just hate what the next several days are going to be like for those guys. And it's just going to be one of those things that every time, you're not going to be able to avoid it. You come to a sports bar like this, you're going to be seeing replays about it. You go somewhere and you're going to hear about it. It's just one of those things that And there are worse things in life. Absolutely. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But just one of those things that you're never going to be able to escape. And every time you think about it, every time it comes up, something similar, whatever, you just get that pit in your stomach and it's never going to go away. And it just, it's terrible because these guys accomplished so much and did so much. And unfortunately, the truth of it is, fair or not, most people are just going to remember it for this. And
100%.
that's, I don't blame anybody who feels that way. It's just kind of how it works, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that you're on the biggest stages, and that's the kind of lasting memory, like you said, and it just sucks. There's like really no way around it. Like, and I don't have any other wisdom to embark.
It makes me think about being in some of those, basketball locker rooms, like after the season ends and everything. I know John did that this year after what happened against Texas Tech, and it's just, you almost view these guys as like actors in movies or whatever. Like it's almost like they're larger than life, and when you have the opportunity to be personal with them and everything, and you see what other people don't, in those locker rooms or with families in those moments, and how it really does impact people and how invested they really are. It's just, when something like this happens, it's just not. There's just nothing fun about it.
No. Appreciate the super chat from Craig Bailey. He says, what separates champions and good teams is a killer instinct. I don't think any hog team in recent history has had a true killer instinct. Our play demonstrates our lack of killer instinct.
Yeah, in that last inning, though, and that's what drives me crazy because they showed a hell of a lot of killer instinct multiple times. And, to battle back in that game, to lose the lead, take the lead, tie, just over and over and over, they responded, and then just that happens, and you can't make sense of it. And you're right, like it is a killer instinct thing, but did it go away? Was like a switch flipped? I don't know, man.
I
don't know how you rationalize it.
Crypto Hog says we can sacrifice Chuck and Bo. Okay.
That's
okay. Relax.
They can stay. It's fine.
Landon Jackson says, and not that Landon Jackson. He says, I'm not one to believe in curses, but man, how else do you describe it? Go Hogs always. This is accurate information.
Landon, you're going to the Buffalo Bills where
yeah, totally not cursed, the Buffalo Bills. Exclusive Cart says, man, I felt bad for Davlon. He probably felt like he lost the game, but it shouldn't have even come to that. Turn that double play, a lot of boneheaded plays in the ninth. Yeah, and that's the thing is like all of these guys are going to feel that. Like Vahiva's going to go on and do great things, but like that's going to sit with him forever. He was emotional after the game. Like Cam Kojal, who shouldn't feel that way, I know he's going to beat himself up and be like, oh man, should have made that play. Reese Robinette, man, who waited his time to get his chance. I know he's going to beat himself up over it. And all these guys, I mean, hell, all these guys had at-bats in this game. They're all going to think back to those for the rest of their lives. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks. Hillary Frank, we appreciate her contribution. She says DVH is a class act, and I'm gutted for these kids. They gave us a hell of a season. Sad, but glad you're coming home with a full head of hair, Andrew. Yeah, I am coming home with a full head of hair, and I appreciate the support, Hillary.
It would have taken me a long time to get used to bald Andrew. Yeah, I can't imagine what it would have been like for her.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. Appreciate
she might not
you,
let you
man.
back in, bro.
Goodness gracious, man.
Never take the hat off.
I still might shave it, man. I might just need to rebrand.
I mean, something might have to change, and it might have to.
Something's got to change, man.
I'm not saying it has to be your hair, but
I cannot believe the LSU Tigers are about to win the national championship. But hey, the good thing is they don't have to play tomorrow, so they're extra rested for that Coastal series. Goodness gracious. Brian Davis, he says they should have dogpiled after the Super Regional win in Fayetteville. We only know pain in Omaha. Never missed the opportunity to dogpile. Oh yeah, I'm sure that if they had dogpiled, people totally would not be right now ripping them to shreds and being like, they shouldn't have dogpiled. They blew their load there, man.
I like what they did. Hitting the concourse, hitting the hog pen.
Yeah, that was like they did the coolest possible
One of
thing
them
ever.
The lake.
Yeah, they celebrated in the coolest possible way ever. But when you lose at the end of the year, when you lose the last game of the season, as Brad Pitt says in Moneyball, everything you did leading up to it was stupid. And so now in hindsight, we're gonna have to look back and say, man, it was stupid for them to jump in that lake and not dogpile. The world we live in, man, it's freaking horrible. I mean, this is a horrible earth we live in, is it not?
It's pretty. There's a lot of turmoil.
Where's the good
right
at, Curtis? Where's the good at? Exclusive cards. He says, just remember how bad the players and coaches are hurting before you say anything. They feel worse than anyone. Bring them up, not down. I mean, listen, there's definitely something to be said about that. And look, I know there's a lot of people who probably hear that and they're like, you're telling me I can't be mad? No, you can't be. You can be mad. You can be sad. You can be upset. You can be frustrated. You can be disappointed. you can be angry. There's anger inside of me. Absolutely, you can be angry. And hell, even if you're mad at some of these players and mad at these coaches, like I understand that, but it's like I don't know what putting it out there and like trying to direct it there publicly and all that. There's really no reason for that. And again, like Exclusive Card said, like you think those boys needed any extra shame? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna get plenty of that, and I'm gutted for them, man. I really am. Jeremy Rice, seriously appreciate everybody tuning in, man. I know I know this is horrible, and I know I'm kind of like running through these super chats. I don't want y'all to think that we're not appreciative, man. Like it's not lost on us how cool this is that all you guys are kicking it here with us after such a traumatic thing, man. But we appreciate the support as always. And Jeremy Rice says it's been an amazing season. Sure sucks how it ended. The curse is real, damn it. DVH for governor of Arkansas, woo pig. I like that. I like how like some of these people are just like trying to process, and they're just like, yeah, still woo pig, still love DVH. I love all that. Jere says wellness check on John. Let's get a wellness check on John. John, talk to us, buddy.
I'm moderating the chat.
He's moderating the chat.
You banning folks left and right.
And I'm glad he's moderating the chat, honestly.
Yeah, it's needing very much moderation. So I'm pretty locked in, and you guys are handling it just fine.
But are you okay? I'm not. I know what you're doing, but are you okay? Like seriously, because
I'm not okay.
We're here for you, man. We are.
Yeah, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. It's just one of those things to where it's another little notch on the belt of massive epic disappointments as a Razorback fan. But thing is I'm not going to waver. I'm always going to be a Razorback fan.
Oh, dude,
just because that's the only thing I know, and it's the only pain that I've ever really felt in sports, more so than anything. So I ain't wavering. I'm still loving the Razorbacks. I'm still going to wear the Razorbacks. Still going to represent the Razorbacks. I'm still always going to be a Razorback. So
that's a fact. I'm going to be wearing hog colors tomorrow, man. I'm never going to stop loving this university, even if this university doesn't love me back. You know what I mean? Even if
I feel that.
And I don't mean that in a way of like, they lose games I don't want them to lose. I mean like literally people within the university make it clear to me, to my face, that they do not love me. And that sucks. But man, I don't want to be anywhere else than like pulling for the pig. Like we said, like, dude, there were so many moments tonight. Like I can still hear it and see it. Go Hogs, go. Like hearing that, like just banging throughout Charles Schwab Field, seeing the Hog fans, it almost felt like they were willing that inning, that ninth inning to existence. The top of the ninth, I should clarify.
As much as it just sucks to get sounded with a lit match, a couple times like we have at the end of baseball season and the end of basketball season, I would go through it all again to have the experiences that we've had here. Yeah. Everything that we've been able to do, the Providence and San Francisco and all that stuff, and being able to do it with you guys, like
100%.
If that means that we have to do this, over and over and over and over until we finally get one, or if we never get one and we just get to have these experiences and live the rush and live the dream, then so be it. I'm in.
100%. And listen, it's not always going to be like this. We know it can even be worse. I mean, hell, would you want to relive last year's athletic calendar again?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
as much
not.
as we say, it hurts worse on the big stage, and all that's true. Just simply not being there is probably worse. Like I don't know. Last year watching them lose to SEMO, it was like a different kind of pain, but I still would rather this one in a weird way. Even though this hurts more, I still would rather this. But man, the thing I keep thinking back, and I know that we're like all over the place here, guys, on this post game. Like, It is what it is, but I just love those guys, man. I love this program. I love this team, man. And like, just like you said, being around the families, being around the guys and watching how they interact with each other, watching how they love each other. I hope the guys on that team don't lose that bond that they have, and they're going to need to lean on each other, man. Like they went through something like horrible out there, and like, I know that, we also went through that horrible thing and we need people to lean on as well. But like, I do hope that the support system around those guys, most of which we know, we know their families, we know they have good people around them. I just hope that these guys are able to lean on each other and, not let this define their lives. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't. I mean, seriously, whether they had won or lost, like even if they had won the national championship, I wouldn't want that to define their lives either. You know what I mean? Like I love those guys. I want them to succeed and I want them to, feel all those great things, man. It sucks, man. And I really know that people are going to be pissed about me saying that. And they're going to be like, y'all are, giving them, too soft on them or whatever. But it's like, that's all I can think of in this moment, man, is just seeing the looks on those boys' faces and seeing how bad it hurt them, man. And those are hogs, man. If that's not a hog, then I don't know what a hog is. Someone moved to tears over a heartbreaking loss. That's a hog, if you ask me.
Yeah. No,
What makes you more of a hog than losing in the worst, most horrific way possible on the biggest stage?
This team had 99% of it.
Oh, yeah.
They had 99% of it. And it's one thing Dave talked about a lot. It's one thing that we witnessed every day. Very, very clear how close this group was. And that's part of what made it special. Man, if I was them, when that flight landed, I would leave my phones in my, my room or my truck or whatever, and I'd get together as a group and go fishing.
Yeah.
I really would. That's exactly what I would do. Go shake it off, hang out with your guys, and get over it. However you need to get over it, catch some largemouth bass, and then come back home. I'm
gonna need some whiskey glasses.
That too. If you're of age.
Yeah.
Responsibly.
Which,
don't drink and drive.
half of you aren't. Exclusive Carts says, when Robinette broke for the ball instead of first, I just had a feeling we were done. Yeah, that was a tough one. I also did not like that play.
Oh, man.
God, but man, I love Reese Robinette. I'm glad he got to play on the stage and, have some cool moments. Sucks. Jake Mers says, let's focus on hoops. Curtis, final SEC record. There you go. You like that?
I do like that. I like that a lot. I'm not going to go crazy with the 8-10 this last year. 13-5. Final SEC record.
I will gladly.
I like the way it shapes up.
Okay. Hey, how about that? Good news.
Yeah.
Good news, boys.
Yes.
Tucker Lloyd says, game ended with a former Oregon State pitcher on the mound, too. Either he was a plant or we're truly cursed. Obviously not blaming Jimmy, which, of course, I know you're just messing around.
I hadn't really considered that part of it.
Well, and it's funny because it's like we were sitting in Rocco's yesterday watching Oregon State lose in the worst way possible, and Louisville tried to lose in the worst way possible. So, again, that's where, we come back to, like, this isn't an Arkansas-specific thing.
Exactly. Yes, it does go to show just how those final outs, bro. It's not just Arkansas.
Yeah, it's like
somebody's got to get them.
You watch someone swing and miss against a Chase Shores fastball, and you're like, wow, how come our program, we just can't hit 100-mile-an-hour fastballs? It's like, well, there's a lot of people that can't. It just sucks that we have to watch it happen, on some of these big stages, man. Geez. I am Prue. I like this. He says, how many times are the Hogs going to see LSU rack up runs with 2 outs? Feels like it happens all the time, too.
Well, they won't see it again this year. So.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big difference in this game. LSU 5 for 12 with 2 outs. Arkansas 1 for 10. Arkansas with runners in scoring position was 1 for 5. LSU 3 for 13. So neither team was necessarily crushing it with RISP. But yeah, that's a tough one, man. Sharkensaw says one of the most frustrating things of all this was that all year Arkansas put pressure on teams and forced other teams to fold in big moments, only for them to ironically fold harder than 2018. This is a great point.
Yeah.
We talked about this during, I believe it was maybe the Texas series, where like you just watch Texas do a lot of weird things, and you're like, man, Arkansas really is just kind of breaking these guys. Like they're just
to Tennessee.
Forcing them to do this. Like, it's kind of crazy.
And I mean, it's very true. LSU folded multiple times in this game.
Right.
And just,
Jared Jones, who was awesome in this game, couldn't scoop that throw and then couldn't pick it up in time. Like that almost was the difference in the game, where it was like, holy cow. It's a tough one, man. Dre says it's not chicken littling if the sky actually falls on us. This is a great comment. This is a great comment. We shout out to you, Dre. This one made me a chuckle, man. This is good. T Razorback says just canceled his Omaha hotel.
Good idea,
dude. You know who I feel bad for right now, and I'm actually, as soon as we get off the post game, I'm gonna have to reach out. Gabe Yackel's brother Chris drove 25 hours to be here to watch his brother pitch in Omaha, which he did get to do. And credit to his brother, pitched very well, left his nuts out there, man. 25 hours he drove to watch that.
That's brutal, man.
It's brutal, man. This is real life. These are human beings, and this sucks. Logan B says, hey, y'all, chill. I'm an LSU fan, but this was one of the best games in College World Series history. I said that going into the bottom of the ninth, not just because LSU won. Oh. I agree with you, Logan. I actually tweeted it out and said it was an instant classic right before it became even more of an instant classic.
Yeah.
So congrats on your victory.
I'm sure if the script was flipped, LSU wouldn't be talking about anything that happened there.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, it was just a great game. Tough one.
We'll see you later. Appreciate the super chat. Says we won't see Aloy, Root, Max Wood in a Hog uniform. This is true. This is true. We have seen our final Gage Wood outing, and good Lord, man, it's crazy that like I wonder how Gage Wood's no hitter is going to be remembered. And obviously, it's going to be remembered very well. It was awesome. But it's like, will we like watch highlights of Gage Wood's no hitter and then be like, you know what I mean? Like, will it kind of ruin it? Hopefully not. I mean, hopefully we should still be able to appreciate Gage Wood for what he did, and of course, he had nothing to do with tonight. Damn. This is dark, man. This is getting dark real quick.
Not fun.
John Fisher says, DVH 12-18 in Omaha. He's not the guy, guys. If he was going to get us one, he already would have. He needs to retire and move on. Players reflect the coach. DVH is not a closer. I don't know if I can ban him right away. Yeah, I'm just going to put him in timeout. You're going in timeout, John Fisher.
Think about what you said. Come back to this.
Sorry. Think about it for Brennan Fulgham says, I died in 2018 and I have been in hell ever since. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, man. Sorry to hear that. Hope it gets better though. Ozarkian says, we need a cursed and choked metal song about UA fans. Jeez. Kyle Bratton, appreciate the super chat, buddy. We appreciate that. E says, didn't you say you would cut your hair off if they lost? No, I actually said I would cut my hair off if they made the finals, which they did not do. So, sucks.
The lock stay.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Says the program was built on Indian burial grounds. What the hell?
My soul is an Indian burial ground.
Yeah, jeez, man, jeez. I appreciate the super chat from Frederick Barrow. Like that.
Thank you.
Hopefully we did not miss a big comment. And Bo says this is going to make the hoop championship slap so much harder 9 months from now. Hey, man, give me anything, man. I'll settle for a 6-6 football team, and that'll make me feel happy. Like seriously, man. Like I just want to move on, man. I just want to move on, man. I just want to experience something that doesn't suck.
It would be a lot of fun, and we'll just keep rolling to whatever season comes next, and sometimes skip football until we get to that point.
Yeah,
keep trucking.
Yeah. Guys, well, I appreciate it. We weren't able to get to all these chats, man, and we got all the super chats, I believe. So appreciate everybody who chimed in. And if I did miss anybody, please let me know because I'm not trying to. I thought I went through all the starred ones. I see one from Frederick Barrow now that pops up as I say that. Who says, Hogs, you played with grit, a brutal way to lose, but nothing to be ashamed of. Fortune tests the strong from one Tiger to a Razorback. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate that. I'm sure there's some mean LSU fans that have been in the chat. But the ones that left super chats have been cool.
Yeah. It hasn't been all that bad.
Yeah, it hadn't been all that bad.
But that's because John's been taking care of the nonsense.
Yeah, John's been doing a great job, man. And boys, we're about to have to close up shop here, man.
Yeah.
But seriously, Hog fans, like again, I said it at the top, I'll say it now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have to go through this. I'm sorry that you have to look at our stupid faces afterwards and expect us to make it all better, and we can't make it better. We can't make it better this time. We can't fix the oopsie. We can't fix the boo-boo. This is going to hurt for a while, man. This is one that we're never going to forget. And, we love being here live. We love being able to cover these moments. And this one just sucks, man. This one just rips your soul out. Curtis, do you have any final thoughts left to share with the Pig Nation?
I mean, nothing that I haven't already said. We feel the same way you guys do. And it's tough. It stinks. Hate it for you guys. Hate it for us. Hate it for the players. Hate it for DVH. We'll sleep on it, and by sleep on it, I mean I'm probably gonna drink myself a few Busch Lights, and then I guess we'll do a show here tomorrow, and then we'll head back home. It is what it is.
John, can I get a statement from you?
Before you do, shout out to Kelly Jacobs who gave a final super chat here, but said gutted for the players, DVH, and all the fans. I wanted this for DVH crazy bad. No one deserved it more. Love the Razorbacks and Woo Pig Suey today always. So I want to make sure that got read from Kelly. Appreciate you, Kelly. It's gonna be tough to process all of this. Like we all said it. I wanted this so bad for the fans, more so than anybody. We wanted it because we wanted to be a part of it. When it would happen, if it would happen. And they still had work to do, even if they had won this game tonight. But to have this kind of hurt, man, it's just no words to put into it. It sucks, but I don't know. I guess it's like it's something that we'll find ways to get through, just like everybody will, and you'll still be a Razorback fan through and through. But I think that I just really want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to all the people that have sponsored us. Like that decided to. They felt like the content we do up here is worth them giving their money to for promotion, and that's one of the biggest honors and privileges that we have in doing this. So I'm very appreciative of them. I'm very appreciative of everybody that's partnered with us here at Inside Arkansas and on the Baumbastic pregame, postgame. I'm appreciative of people who have come up to us here in Omaha and said such nice things and getting to know some people and everything. I'm appreciative also of just the journey and the travel and everything like that. And I think that I'm also, and something that needs to be said too, I mean, it's no brainer, but I appreciate it. I'm appreciative of Andrew Ellis, because just like with Curtis doing pregame, postgame, Andrew brought it, man. Andrew brought it every day here at Inside Arkansas on the Baumbastic, and with the podcast, with pregame, postgame, dude brought it, and he did a great job. And for something that we're still new and still figuring things out, to do the job that we did, but especially Andrew and putting in the work was it was awesome, man. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate Curtis. I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate all the super chats, and appreciate everybody that's listened in and tuned in for us and have been along with this journey. Because again, it's not going to be anything that I'll ever forget. Unfortunately, the thing that happened on the field wasn't the most ideal thing, but hey, I had a great time, and it was an honor to be with you guys doing this. And I cannot wait to do it again next year. And I cannot wait to continue on what we're building here at Inside Arkansas. So thank you.
John, I appreciate you saying that, man. I appreciate you saying that personally, and I appreciate the message you just said to the fans, because I agree with it, man. Like, it's we're never going to stop loving the Hog, and I appreciated you saying that earlier too. Like, you said you can't wait. I'm in the same boat where, like, honestly, like, God dang, man, I wish they could just restart right now. Like, I just want to watch another, move on and turn my attention to something else. But this is a moment that's going to sting for a while. Quickly, appreciate James Roble. We appreciate you, brother. And everybody that's tuned in, man. Seriously, thank you to everybody. And I think the last thing I want to say before we close out here, I don't want my love to ever be conditional of the Hogs. Like, we will always, like you said, we'll always love the Hog. And sure, do we like some teams better than others? Do we remember some teams more than others? Do we, when you talk about some teams more than others, do the accomplishments, do the championships, the games they win, all that matters. Like, I'm not telling you it doesn't. It matters a lot. But I don't want it ever to be confused. Like, my love for these guys on the team and my love for this program does not go down. And I look forward to those better days where we're able to talk about something special. And this season was very special. It definitely was that. I mean, anytime you're in the Final Four teams, that's something to be commended for sure. And I'm just gutted for this team, this program. I'm gutted for Dave. And we'll see how they respond, man. We'll see how they continue to write this story. And I know the Hog fans are gonna be thinking about this one for a while. So, guys, I appreciate you, John, for setting the tone always. Curtis, I cannot thank you enough, man. One, for just the hectic travel you had to endure to get here. You're going from your baby shower, flying around the country to get here just to come be in this foxhole with us. I'll never forget that. And I'm appreciative that I have you guys to lean on during all this stuff and this crazy, ridiculous job that we have. And this company that we built, man, it's crazy. It's special. And I wouldn't want to be a part of anything else. And I love both of you guys a lot. And I love all of you Hog fans. And I love that damn pig. And we'll be back. So I appreciate you guys for tuning into this Baumbastic postgame. Appreciate you guys for following us along this whole entire postseason. And appreciate everybody who takes time to watch the Hogs, talk about the Hogs, watch the Baumbastic podcast, all that. I always say I appreciate you guys' love for baseball. And that is definitely true even in the darkest of times. And this is very much that. Salute you guys. Have a great night. And we will be back tomorrow to tell you happy, nice, beautiful things. Appreciate you guys. Woo pig.